All right, hello everyone. Here we are on Star Station, Game 4 in the show match series between KnowMe and Delphi. Delphi spawning as the pink Zerg, pretty in pink Zerg in the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, KnowMe spawning as the red Protoss on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Games have been interesting. You can see a little bit of just proper micro here, making sure that the probes are mining at only the closest mineral patches. There are 4 mineral patches where you can double mine from, and that should be opening up for a very, very strong economy. Every mineral matters. Every second matters here in StarCraft, where you're just trying to get a very small advantage and turn it into a larger one. Delphi moving out with that Overlord here. And it looks like the space station is moving, doesn't it? You can see the ground underneath. So Star Station is actually traveling through space. How to move an entire space station, I do not know. But then again, if the Death Star can do it, so can Star Station. Probe now making its rounds, taking a look for where that Zerg could possibly be. And if you guys haven't played on Star Station, the map is your customary 4-spawn map. It is a map that I rather like, as your natural expansion is pretty easy to defend. Now, Zerg players have a little bit of a harder time with their third base. The reason being, their one third base here is rather exposed. It's a little bit easier for Terran players and Protoss players to take it, but it's not very easy for Zerg players. There is also this base here in the center, and this base is also a little bit far out of the way as well. So I am surprised that Delphi would even agree to play on this map, or perhaps they're just trying to go through all of the BattleNet ladder maps, as it looks like a drone will morph his way into an extractor and lose some resources. Nope, the drone just taking a look around, making sure, oh, there's one pylon, and oh, that could potentially be huge. That pylon, what is going to be happening now? That drone is just on patrol there, and this is one of those instances where it says, hey, if it looks like a duck, if it looks like a cannon rush and smells like a cannon rush, it's got to be a cannon rush, right? Oh, this pylon was not spotted. Potentially huge here. The drones are making sure that a photon cannon, oh, will the probe be able to slip out? Yes, it does. Gets another one there. And what is happening? This one probe is now trying to slip back out, and there is the double warp in here. Cannons now being added on the front door as well. Is KnowMe actually going to end up losing his probe? Yes, he will. And KnowMe is actually in a bit of a bind here. This is not a good position for him. We most likely will see this one particular photon cannon being canceled, followed by this photon cannon being canceled, and that is a very, very easy way to lose a whole bunch of resources. Zerglings now trying to fight. It looks like 2 Zerglings will get taken down, maybe 3 at most, and that is it, as we do see a photon cannon on the front, but the spine crawler actually outranges the pylon, and with that, all the spine crawler needs to do is root right there, poke apart the pylon, unpower the cannon, and then KnowMe is going to be very, very behind in terms of overall resources. There you go. There's the poking and the prodding. And not much can really be done. A Zealot is inside the base, but what is he going to do? He's trying to slash away. It looks like he will get a couple Zergling kills at the very least. The Queen, however, should not be engaging, but pretty much realizes that, you know what? That photon cannon is now unpowered. What are you going to do? As Delphi looks to be very strong. He was forced to train a lot of Zerglings and also morph in an earlier spine crawler than normal. But he's looking very, very strong economically. Now, this could have been a strategy coming over from KnowMe, and I'm sorry, the game sounds just do sound a bit loud. I'm going to go ahead and movement sounds, move sounds, and ambient sounds, interface sounds. Let's see. Yeah, all of that was just seemed a bit loud to me. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the game. All right, let's come in over here. Zealot now holding the Zelnaga tower. Very good positioning on that Zealot, making sure that only a couple Zerglings can attack him at a time. A little bit of a choke point there. You can see the Zerglings are holding the other towers here, as KnowMe was not forced to build a photon cannon on his front door. This is a really strong strategy by KnowMe, knowing that Delphi cannot easily take up a third base. So if KnowMe believes that, you know what, I can sit on 3 bases, you can sit on 3 bases, what are you going to do about it? As that probe is now holding the rest of those units there, the probe may get taken down, but at the cost of 2 or 3 Zerglings, KnowMe doesn't really mind that particular trade. That pylon will... should not actually finish warping in. We could see some more Zealots being added as well. That one Zealot still holding the Xel'Naga tower there, as the Zerglings are now once again making their way out across the map. Production tab does show the Stargate being added. Are we actually going to see the Oracle? Oracle, a much more effective harassment unit, in my opinion. And now with the Mothership Core out on the front door, the Mothership Core, essentially a very, very... just a unit that actually could shut down all of these Zerglings. Oh, you can see how much damage is being dealt there. Is the Mothership Core one of those units that cannot attack, move at the same time? I thought all Protoss Air could attack, move at the same time. All right, the Zerglings still taking a look around. It looks as though one probe will be holding off right here, as we are going into multiple warp gates. Oracle could be added in just a second. More Zealots being trained, as we do see a bit of an engagement. The probe may get taken down. Yes, it does. But Zealots have been able to push back fairly easily. Still, Zealot hanging around on the far side of the map. More Zerglings coming in to engage. The Zealots are going to have a rather easy time, especially with that Mothership Core, adding in just a little bit of damage to two-shot these Zerglings. Oracle is now being trained back at home over here at that Stargate. There you go. The Zerglings finally able to surround. Mothership Core not actually getting any kills off, but still getting some decent damage here, as the Mothership Core is just still poking apart many of those units. Another Zealot, or another 2 Zealots, going to get taken down. You can see the movement speed of those Zerglings really, really strong, as those Zerglings are just catching a lot of units in transit. This is not what we expected to see from KnowMe. KnowMe actually losing a lot more resources than I perhaps expected, as more Zealots still being added and moving out across the map. Alright, you can see how quickly that Oracle moves, a 3.38, that is as fast as a stimmed Marine. We are going into a Nidus network with also swarm hosts. That could potentially be absolutely dangerous. What is this Oracle going to do? Oracle, there you go, finally, apparently, just got shot down. Not what I expected to see from Oracle play at all. There is that Nidus network. And now you can see there's that Nidus worm coming out on the far side of the map. Thank you very much. Adding in a little bit of an animation for casters to figure out what's happening here. All right, Nidus worm on the front door. And each of these swarm hosts, their damage, and queens being added as well. All right, queens being added here. Are we going to see some creep tumor spread? Yes, we are. Swarm hosts are going to burrow. And it is really going to come down to whether or not the Stargate and that Oracle is going to have sight onto those swarm hosts, as the swarm hosts are now starting to poke apart. A huge play now coming in here. Swarm hosts are going to be able to start poking this, as photon cannons need to be added. You can see how much damage is going to be coming in. You can see all of these locusts, time life of 15, and in comes the Nexus with the Photon Overcharge to act as defense, but it may not work. The Void Ray now looking to try to come in as well. Is anything going to happen here? Zealot's trying to come over as well. There's that damage. There is the additional bonus damage versus Armored. But then again, a Queen is not an armored unit at all, and down goes the Void Ray already. There goes a Queen, as those Swarm hosts are still trying to poke their way in. Alright, Mothership Core will be forced to retreat once again. There is some anti-attack as well. As you can see, that Swarm host should most likely just uproot itself, as a new Void Ray coming in to engage. The Void Ray now dealing plus or 16 damage versus Armored. Not a smart call there, as the Void Rays are starting to poke apart at all of these units here. You can see the additional bonus damage against the Swarm host, how effective that really is there. Down goes another Swarm host, but all of these Swarm hosts are not revealed. No Oracle, no real way to gain sight at all, and that is potentially a problem. Alright, are we going to perhaps see an Observer? Yes, an Observer now finally being added. Queen now making its way over. Are we going to see this one Mothership Core getting taken down? No, we are not. Void Rays being brought over in order to finish off all of these Swarm hosts. About 25 damage a second, and its attack. The Swarm host now trying to retreat, Void Rays do not move that quickly, as the Swarm Host will be able to get back home. What is this Queen doing besides sacrificing herself? It could jump back inside. No, able to take down the or the Mothership Core, and that will pretty much be it. All right, 5 Swarm Hosts, and that is it. Delphi, where is this perhaps going to be popping up next? That is the question. Engaging off over here, you can see that there are multiple pylons inside the base. No possible area for a dead zone at all, as the Zealots and the Void Rays are pushing out across the map. The Swarm Host will be once again re-engaging on the front door, and the creep tumors are still being added. Is that going to burrow in time? No, it is not. Hydralisks are going to engage. There is an Immortal, but are there observers? No, there isn't, and in comes the attack once again. All right, Observer does need to make its way over. Queen is off over here. Void Rays. Hydralisks, are they going to be able to spot up onto the high ground? Zealots need to make their way in, and the Hydralisks need to turn around and attack those Zealots. The Zealots are going straight after those Swarm Hosts, and the Swarm Hosts are all just falling apart. It looks like KnowMe is going to absolutely hold this once again. Zerglings and Hydralisks now trying to engage. Are the Void Rays going to back off? Yes, they are. More Zealots being added, though, as this attack is still coming through. All right, the Void Ray being very, very smart, trying to go after the reinforcements. Hydralisks going to engage against those Zealots, and the Immortal, is it going to be able to back off? Yes, it will, getting under the cover of those photon cannons. New Nidus Swarm being added. All right, Zealots, Immortals, Void Rays getting caught in open field. Not good. It's too many Hydralisks. KnowMe going to be losing that once again, and that Nidus Swarm will be popping back up once more. That is a whole bunch of Hydralisks and Zerglings inside, ready to go. All right. Groove Spines not yet researched. Zealots versus Zerglings with Photon Cannon and Immortal support. It looks like this is going to be too much. KnowMe looks like he's going to be able to hold this, but the Zerglings do get to engage again. More units trying to engage. The Hydralisks do move very fast while on creep and are able to kite many of those Zealots once more, trying to back away. Zealots do not have the movement speed upgrade. Muscular augments not yet done for those Hydralisks either, as the Zealots are still just trying to chase. Hydralisks. We are now going into a Roach Warren once more. Zealots still trying to chase all of these Hydralisks. Hydralisks do have very fast movement speed, or will have very fast movement speed. And there you go, the muscular augments coming in just in time to give chase to all the units. But in comes a Colossus, and the Colossus does move very, very quickly. Void Ray now trying to make its way back over. No pylon power. Not quite sure how this all worked, as the Hydralisks are still backing away once more. Queens are here. Spine Crawlers. Groove Spines now will be, Groove Spines will be added for that a little bit extra range. Better effective against those Colossus, as that Colossus still does not have the extended thermal lance. Alright, we are still sitting on 2 bases here. KnowMe finally setting up a 3rd base, and this is not good for Delphi. Delphi, sitting on only 2 bases, is not going to be able to come out as the victor here. We can see the Mothership Core is part of this group. Mothership Core with mass recall will be able to head back home pretty easily if there is any bad engagements. On top of that, if you take a look at the minimap, you can see that in terms of space, the Protoss army takes up relatively a small amount of space in any engagement. Meanwhile, the Hydralisk army here, there's only 12 Hydralisks here. Meanwhile, in this group, you can see the Mothership Core, 2 Void Rays, Sentries, 3 Colossi, Immortal, and what is that, 9 Zealots all sitting together. That's just going to be a much, much more effective death ball, since those Colossus are hovering over all of these units. Down goes another unit there. Hydralisks are looking to back away once more. What is happening next? Roaches and Hydralisk Overseers. And Delphi needs to make an amazing move if he wants to come out ahead. Otherwise, I cannot imagine KnowMe somehow giving up this game. Alright. Phoenixes are being added to this group. Hydralisks are now trying to come in from the far side. There are some photon cannons here, but it looks as though Delphi is simply going to ignore it and attempt to take down the Nexus. Photon cannons are in position. Colossi now making their way over. It looks like the Nexus may get taken down, but it does not get taken down. Nexus down to 100 hit points, and Delphi, realizing that he did not take down the Nexus, gives the GG, and we are now moving into Game 6. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.